So as we are about to start, because we don't want to waste too much time today, we have so many amazing speakers and we want to give all of them equal opportunity to share their knowledge and also give you the opportunity to be able to ask us questions as well. So let me start off with our first amazing speaker of the evening. So we have Miss Seun Sangoleye, is an award-winning nutrition educator and founder of Baby Grubs Nigeria, renowned for advancing in infant and young child nutrition across Africa through innovative, affordable, and culturally relevant food solutions. I mean, she's a global speaker, Mandela Washington Fellow, and nutrition goalkeeper recognized by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. She brings deep expertise in sustainable nutrition, women's economic empowerment, and social enterprise growth. She mentors hundreds of thousands of parents and entrepreneurs, making her a powerful voice in child nutrition, community health, and impact-driven business. Seun, is that only you, or is there an additional person? Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Hi. Please, the floor is yours. So tonight, everybody, Seun is going to be talking to us from farm to high chair. She's going to be talking about sourcing safe, quality ingredients for your little ones. So I'm going to leave the floor to her and I'll just be in the background.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're from. My name is Seun Sangoleye, and I'm the mom in chief at Baby Grubs. I have been feeding children for, it's going to be 13 years this year. Before that, I have some experience. I do a lot of things, but I'm the mom in chief at Baby Grubs. Baby Grubs is Baby Grubs Nigeria Limited in Nigeria. It's Baby Grubs LLC in the United States. And we ship to UK. We have a good presence in the UK. We ship all over the world. So wherever you're from, make sure that you connect with Baby Grubs. Today I'm talking about how to source foods for your baby. How to source quality, safe ingredients for your little ones. But before we start, I'll do a 10-second quiz, very short. I need everybody to be attentive. And all I want you to do is count how many letter F's you would see on the next slide. Okay? Are we ready? Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so how many? It's interactive.
Four.
4.
I'm seeing 4. I'm seeing 5.
6.
Somebody said 6.
Okay, let's see
I
the
saw
answer.
5.
I saw 4.
The answer is 6.
Okay.
So what does that mean? It means that most of what I'm going to tell you today is something that you probably already know, something you see everywhere, something you've heard of before, but I'm just going to be pointing your attention to it. So just be with me, and I'm just going to show you how to source. Okay, what stresses you the most? Is it sugar content in food? Is it chemicals or preservatives? Is it heavy metals? Is it unknown ingredients? Tell me, what is it that stresses you when you go to the store to buy something?
Aisha said it's all of them.
I
Aisha said it's all of them.
I put this picture because I'd gone to buy yogurt, and I was checking to know which particular brand I wanted, and I saw one that put probiotics, and I was like, really? Somebody that doesn't know about yogurt would be like, oh, this one has probiotics, I'm going to buy this one, right? But that's what yogurt is, right? So before we talk about what your biggest challenge is, I need you to know that food is not just food. Food is robust because there's something called the value chain. Food comes from the farm till it gets to your table. It has gone through so many things. Number one that happens is the farm. And on the farm, so many risks are there, right? It depends. This type of soil that was used to farm your tomatoes will depend on the type of tomatoes you're going to receive at the end of the day. So the waters used, the pesticide, all of those things are important. The hygiene of the farm handlers, that's one. Number two is the harvesting. How was it harvested? The tools that they used, were they clean? Was it exposed to unusual heat? Was it bruised during the harvesting? Number three is transportation from the farm to Lagos or to the city or wherever it is. What was the temperature? Was the temperature controlled? Was it a cold chain? How did they pack it? How did they store it? Was it in dirty baskets? Was it exposed to dust? And then it gets to wherever they are transporting it to. They processed it. How was it processed? How was it milled? How was it packaged? I'll give you an example of something that is common in Nigeria. In the market, we have mills that are not stainless steel, but they are iron. And when they mill stuff, when they mill grains, they grind metals directly into products or into foods. If it was dried, how was it dried? Was it dried properly? Does it have mold growth that you didn't see and they grinded everything together? How did they store? Number five, how was it stored? Is the humidity controlled? Is the shelf is it stable? Is it stored in a stable environment? That's another thing you need to think of. Was it exposed to pests like insects, cockroaches, ants, flies? Even when you buy in the supermarket, there are still other things that you need to think about. Do you check the expiry dates all the time? Are the items put in the freezer when they should? If you buy from the supermarket and you take it home, there are other things you need to check. Before you bought it in the supermarket, was it thawed and refrozen, or was it always in the freezer? Did people open it and close it back? And we're taught, so many things you need to think about. When it's going home, did they pack it? Did they pack your yogurt with insecticide?
Bring it.
Sandra, you need to mute yourself. When it finally gets home, the things that need to be in the freezer, did you put them in the freezer immediately, or did they come in contact with raw food? When you are storing it also, do you store it in the right way? Those are all of the ways that your food can get contaminated. After storing, you also need to think about how it's handled in the home. Are you using the right cutting boards, or you put it on the table and just cut it up? Has your pets been on the same countertop that you're putting your fresh produce? And that's not the end. You cook. How do you cook? How you cook also affects your food to make it safe. Do you use the right temperature? Do you use the right timing? What type of water did you use to cook it? Did you wash your hands? When serving the food, did you ensure that the plate is clean, or the utensils you used, were they cleaned properly? Did the food sit out too long before you served it to your baby? Those are so many things that you need to think of, right? And the plate itself, or whoever is serving it, did they wash their hands? And so there are so many things that you need to think about to be sure that your baby's food is safe or not, right? I just put 13 there because I wanted to share it with you, but I'm not a very funny person, so. Okay. And so why do the ingredients matter? They matter because a child is not an adult. What an adult will take and would simply upset them. If a baby takes it, or a toddler takes it, or a child takes it, it can send them into the ER. And we need to be very careful. There's something called the window of opportunity. It is the first 1,000 days of a child's life. And it's not just in nutrition. I know we use this a lot in nutrition because we want, and let me explain what it means in nutrition before I talk about other parts. But I want to say the other parts to further substantiate how the first 1,000 days shape a child's life. Most of the problematic adults we know today. We say, oh, it can be traced to their childhood. Did they buy toys for them when they were small? Did they have abandonment issues and all of that? Those are things that happen in your first 1,000 days, right? And it's the same thing with food, but food is very different. With emotional issues, you can go for counseling, trauma counseling, and all of that and get better. But if you miss the proper nutrition that you need to give your child, the proper foundational nutrition in the first 1,000 days, it will be very difficult to catch up because your child's internal organs are growing in that time. The brain is developing. And so if everything does not grow to full capacity, it will be very difficult to catch up, when the child grows up, except, by divine intervention, and that requires prayers and fasting and a miracle. So you definitely need a miracle if you don't get it right in the first 1,000 days. And so there's so many long-term risks that come up because of that. So there are some children that no matter how much you try to teach them some skills or you try to teach them some things, and not that all the children that cannot learn those things have developmental challenges, but some of it is related to it. And so, and there are other concerns that you need to think about. CDC, FSA, WHO, everybody is saying that there are so many things that are contaminating foods. We know, we've heard it again and again, that foods are being recalled from different places. And I'm even happy that they are being recalled because it means that they have a lot of mechanisms to trace, where the problems are coming from, and they have put things in place to be able to effectively recall. Children have immature livers, kidneys, and so we need to know what we are giving them. And we don't want them to die. We don't want them to fall sick. We want to reduce the number of times that we spend in the hospital. And so what's a safe food? I have developed this simple formula that can help you. And so it is, number one, you want to scrutinize. You want to avoid additives and sugar. You want to make sure that the food is fresh and there's minimal exposure to contaminants. So if you go through this, it's a simple thing, right? Scrutinize, avoid, fresh, is it exposed? Every time you pick up any ingredients whatsoever, whether they are fresh ingredients or whether they are processed ingredients or food, whatever type of food that you are picking up, once you subject it to this formula, you can immediately decide if it's good to eat or it's not good to eat, okay? And so we start with the first one, scrutinize. How do you scrutinize the food? The first question you should ask yourself, is this food popular or is this food safe? Has this food been exposed to different contaminants? Can I trace where it's from, right? Can it have residues, pesticide residues? And this is true for, you can see a shiny apple, you can see blueberries, grapes. Most foods that are, what's the word? I want to use the word imported, but foods that that are generally, what's the word now? Forgive me. That are not organic. That's the word I'm looking for. Fruits that are not very organic. Most times they have pesticide residues. And I see something wrong that a lot of mothers do when they are washing them. They wash them with, what's it called? Salt, or just run it under the tap. It is not enough. One simple thing you can do to reduce pesticide residues is, and it has been proven, there's a paper on it, just soak it in baking soda for at least 15 minutes and it's good to go. It reduces pesticide residues significantly. And so that's all you need to do. You can batch, clean, and then store in your fridge, okay? That's one thing you need to do. Does it have preservatives and additives? If it does, what should I look out for? I'll show you that later. Does it have allergens or potential allergens for my child? How much sugar does the food have? Those are the questions you should ask yourself, or those are the things you should look at. How much salt is in it, right? I'll still show you how to do some of these things. So the second thing you need to check is, does it have additives and does it have sugar? And I put sugar in quotes because sugar has so many names. Sugar is like one of the characters from Game of Thrones. You know, when they introduce themselves, they say first of our name, Queen of the Andals, XYZ. Sugar has over 60 names, right? But before we talk about sugar, let us talk about additives, right? Sometimes we see numbers. And when I was ignorant, once I see E, I just cancel the food. I don't touch it. I don't touch it at all. But it doesn't mean that they are bad, right? For example, vitamin C is E300, vitamin B2 is E101. They can say that. I don't know why they would say that. Just put the name there, right? But there are other ones that are bad. Foods generally have a rule of thumb. If the food is colorful, that it's not a natural color, stay away from it, right? Pink. I'm not talking about beetroot or carrots or mandarins or kiwi. I'm talking about processed foods that look really bright. So think foods that have been processed that are orange in color, maybe your potato chips, sweet, right? You want to stay away from them. They are generally processed foods that are safe. Not all processed foods are bad, right? So the natural color rule, seasoning cubes.
Wait, Pedro, stop that noise.
Okay, for younger children, you want to avoid seasoning cubes, but instead you can use shrimp powder, fish powder, garlic, onion powder, your regular spices. Some spices also have MSG in them, so you want to look
Sorry,
closely.
Seun, sorry.
Yes.
I was going to actually ask you to pause so that people can take screenshots of this slide. This
Oh,
slide
I'm
is
sorry.
very important. I think so. Nutrition for Kids team, please, we need to ask Cheryl to please send us this her slide because this slide, I
What?
just need to take a screenshot of my phone and be walking around the supermarket with it. This has solved so many problems. But continue.
Oh, okay, that's not a problem. Um, and so I'll still give you some shorter formulas later on, but the rule of thumb is, don't when the colors look off, don't buy it, right? And processed meats, not all processed meats contain nitrites, but you want to stay away from nitrites. Sulfites too. Once you see nitrite sulfites, that's not good for your baby. That's not, and when I say baby, I mean little ones generally, right? Okay. Um, a lot of artificial sweeteners too. And then I call this one the paragraph test. Once the ingredient lists are so long, like it's epic. It's like, the what do they call that thing? At the end of the movie, the
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 credits.
the
The
credits.
cast.
Yeah, no, the credits. When it looks like the credits. There's an example that I will show you later. You just stay away from it, right? Okay. So things like that look, when you see something like colored with beetroot, preserved with citric acid, those are really safe. Those are nice. And then I told you about names of sugar. Sugar has over 60 names, right? And then I'll show you all the names of sugar, typical names of sugar when you look at the back of the product. And I want you to pick anything in your house right now. Let's do a quick test. Any food product, pick something and look at the back of the label. There's something that manufacturers do. They call it sugar shuffling. They can put sugar 3 or 4 times. So instead of them to put, there can be 3 or 4 sugar sources in any product. That's what I mean. So you can have dextrose, and they will tell you something concentrate, and they will tell you honey. So all of this is sugar going into the product, right? Even before you look at, because sometimes why I'm asking you to look at this instead of looking at the calorie list or the added sugars is because sometimes you might take more than 1 serving of that particular meal, or your child might take more than 1 serving of that particular product. And there are some things that are easy to quickly to go over, like bread. Bread typically has maybe 20 or 22 slices, and a serving is like 2 slices. I don't know. Sometimes I eat 2 slices as a meal, but most times I will eat more than that. And so you can easily consume so many servings in one sitting, and then you have so much sugar. But if you control the amount of sugar that you have eaten, or that you have already gotten or bought, it is easier to follow. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is these are the different ways you can see sugar. It can be high fructose corn syrup. It can just be corn syrup. It can be concentrate. Even though it's fruit juice concentrate, it's still sugar, because it's like when you blend or you squeeze out juice from an apple, and then you boil it down till it becomes very syrupy. That is what they call concentrate. So all of that sugar is concentrated into one thing, right? Maltodextrin, molasses, rice syrup, anything once you see O's at the back of your label, O's, dextrose, sucrose, fructose, lactose, it's sugar. Okay?
Seun, we have about 5 more minutes and we need to be able to ask you some questions.
Yes. So I'm almost done actually.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a sample product. Like I said, you ask yourself, is this popular or is this safe? Right? You can see one has concentrates and one says mashed pears. And so you want to go with the one that is more of whole foods. You want to do whole foods. And reminder, you scrutinize the food, avoid additives, avoid sugar, make sure it's fresh. Okay? And general rule of thumb for fresh foods is make sure that the colors look natural, they are not too shiny, it's not been sprayed with something. Buy from people that sell often, high turnover sellers, not that people that buy and stock, right? So because it's food, you want it to be as fresh as possible. And buy fruits that are in season all the time, right? Make sure your leaves are leafy, your greens are crispy, right? And also always trust your instincts, trust your needs, right? And don't buy what has been pre-cut, especially for open market, especially for open markets. Don't buy pre-cut produce. Like just go home and cut it up, okay? And I have a small rule for things that you put in the fridge. If you are taking food outside the fridge, you should leave it out for maximum of 2 hours. If it's in the fridge, let it be there for maximum of 24 hours for children. And only reheat food once for them, just once. Don't do it again and again. Even for me as an adult, my nanny, it was a new nanny, and it was our first week of working with us. And she had reheat the food again and again. I didn't know. I ate it and I landed in the hospital. And that was just me. I was glad that it was me that ate the food and not the kids, right? And once you make cereals for them, you either refrigerate it immediately or you put it in a thermos and you eat in 24 hours. Okay, nothing more than that. And when you're shopping, do your sense, do a sensitivity analysis. That's the word I was looking for. Does it look right? Does it smell right? Does it feel right? To touch. If you tasted it, does it taste good? Do all of that before you give to your child. Okay. And lastly is exposure. Avoid buying food that has been exposed. Okay. They can be exposed to germs, like when people are touching them with dirty hands, especially when you go to the open market. You want to be careful that you're not buying a lot of things that has been exposed. Nutrient loss. I've always wanted to talk about this, especially when you buy fermented grill. We Africans will know what I'm talking about. Things like ogi, pap, akamu. Most of the times, when you mill it wet and you squeeze out the water, you still have the antioxidants, you still have the probiotics from it being fermented. But a lot of the nutrients are lost, especially for people, you see them grinding with carrots, with bananas, with most of those nutrients are soluble in water. So when you give it to your child, most of the nutrients that you want, you'll be like, oh, I'm giving this child all of this really nice food. But your process of cooking it or making it has lost all the nutrients are gone. Okay. You have to be careful also about cross-contamination. Check for packaging. If it's broken, don't buy it. They will tell you, oh, it was when we were carrying it from the car to the shelf that it. No, it's for children. Don't even take that risk. Okay. And check where you store, even at home. Check where it's stored on the shelves in the supermarket. If it's stored down, don't pick it up. And I was telling you about long ingredients list. So when it's long, stay away from it and check the things that are there. These are juices that you buy for your kids, right? These are things that are real, on the back of it. Check the first three ingredients. If the first three ingredients will tell you everything you need to know about the product, always take that as a rule of thumb. The first three ingredients, because the ingredients are listed in the list of highest to lowest. It's always in descending order. And so if water is number one and the number two thing is not maybe 90% or 80% of what they're advertising on the box, then don't even bother to buy it. Okay. See another, I'm showing you two. It's the same type of products, but different ingredients. One is oats and berries of all kinds and almonds, and then sugar. But the other one, you can see it's more natural and it's more whole foods. Okay. These are two different products that you can compare.
Oh, we have run out of time.
I wanted to give everyone that listening to me an opportunity to win a 20,000 naira voucher. And so if there's something interesting that you've learned in this in this presentation,
I have notebook. I'm gonna post my own.
Share, okay, and put the hashtag Grubs Safe Challenge and tag us. Anything that you've learned. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, can you go back to the last slide so that people can screenshot the information? We need to be doing these things fast because we need to be able to win. My goodness. 25 minutes of a 2-3 hour lecture is what you just achieved. Goodness, Seun, thank you so much. There were so many questions that came in. I think we've answered some of them already, but I want to run through a few of them. Guys, please applaud Seun. This was not easy. She put like 15 years of knowledge into 25 minutes. My goodness. So there was a question asking about pink salt. Someone asked if they can use pink salt. Is it safe for children?
I'll be honest with you, I just use regular table salt or sea salt. We have to look that up and be sure that it's something that is safe for children. But as a general rule of thumb, for children under 12 months, no salt for them. And even for those that are 1 year and above, what they need in a day is quarter teaspoon. And so that should guide you, regardless of what type of salt it is. But for children under 12 months, no salt at all. Pink, Himalayan, whatever, no.
Okay. Then the next question, thank you so much for that. The next question is 15 minutes the minimum time to soak fruits in baking soda? She said, I've noticed that the fruits like strawberries, raspberries get soggy if soaked for longer than 5 to 7 minutes. Is this okay, or is 15 minutes the minimum?
Oh, there's a study. You can actually look it up. The effect of baking soda on pesticide residue. That's the scientific evidence. The minimum is 15. Yes, it does get soggy because I like raspberries, and blackberries, and yeah, they do get soggy. But you have to pick one: pesticide or crisp. Or then you can just buy organic. Okay.
Yeah. I would also suggest soaking in cold water if you can. It does help a bit with that crispiness. If the water
Oh,
is colder,
oh yeah.
that it will help, even if you have to soak it for that long. Yes, I mean, people are just, if you read the chat, people are excited because you've done such an amazing job for us. Thank you so much, Seun, for sharing your time with us. Everybody, we will share Seun's slides with us. Please, I hope you took a screenshot of the gift voucher that she's offering. You can see that we have special gifts ready for you guys. We are going to quickly head into the next speaker right now. Oh, somebody has a follow-up question. So the person said, follow up on the pink salt because I saw somewhere that anything with cyanide is not good, as why
Oh,
we have to use normal salt. Also, for places where you have less organic and more of GMO, what is your advice? Please ask us what to do.
I don't know. Okay, so the thing is, I have that same concern too because where I am currently, there's a lot of, I'm in the US and it's mostly GMO than organic. It's either you bring out the cash and buy organic or you eat the GMO. You have
So
to choose one.
I'm going to add something to that when it comes to GMO and organic. Look at the country where the food came from, especially if you live
Aha.
outside of Nigeria. There are a lot of countries that import to these countries, and GMO is not allowed in the country. So even if they don't label it GMO, the country does not allow GMO in their country. So automatically, when they import it, it's not going to be GMO, even if it
Yeah.
is not organic, right? I think we have a list of countries that are non-GMO for some vegetables and fruits. So we'll share
Yeah.
that with you guys in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, I don't know what you're waiting for. All right. Thank you so much, Seun. Thank you. Guys, we need to keep going. If not, we'll be here for 5 hours. We are gonna be here for 5 hours. So Jay is asking, should we stay away from pink salt? I think that conversation is a little bit more deep because pink salt and is the same thing as Himalayan salt, right? And Himalayan salt has two kinds. There's iodized Himalayan salt and there's regular Himalayan salt. So what you want to do is check whether you have iodized one or the regular one. If it is the regular one, children need a bit more iodine in their food, right? Because iodine is not something that is readily available in so many foods. And again, salt is for flavor. You are not eating salt. So very minimal quantity is required. So really, it doesn't really matter the kind of salt you use, to be honest, because the trace minerals, you'd have to eat like gallon of salt to get the so-called minerals from those foods, right? So if it's nutrients you are looking for, eat another food. The salt really shouldn't matter. Okay.